Chapter 1, Igniting Universal Creative Power. When I was 38 years old, I had a vision where humans manifested their dreams to be self-realized, allowing humanity too to achieve its dream to awaken. This book explains how each of us can turn this vision into reality. Together, we are awakening our universal creative power, the power needed at this time to ignite a global shift in consciousness. This mass evolution is up to us because individual amplification creates it. Human consciousness is expanding exponentially, and each of us can harness this expansion. Do you ever think life should be easier and more joyful? Do you ever ponder there must be more to life and more to my relationships? Do you ever wonder, am I more than just this physical body? Do you ever get the feeling, maybe I'm here for a reason? I felt this too, and it sent me on a quest to discover our true self. I experienced self-realization awakenings that proved our true self is not our mind, breath, sense perceptions, thoughts, body, ideas, or identifiers. Instead, it is the omnipresent awareness before anything has taken form. I call our true self, capital S, capital E, capital L, capital F. You might call it God, oneness, love, higher self, beyond me, Tao, spirit, divine, I am presence, pure consciousness, great central sun, Buddha nature, the universe, Allah, Christ consciousness, one heart, supreme self, or just plain home. You are welcome to use your term whenever I use the word self. Whatever you call it, know it is your natural state of being, and it does not need a name to know what it is. What does self feel like to you? My acronyms are spacious, still, silent, spiritual, surreal, expanded, essence, everlasting, effortless, empty, enlightened, latent, life force, limitless, love, formless, first, forever, frequency. Using your word, could you make an acronym for what I call self? Have a play, write it on the bookmark. For example, God might be S, supreme, E, eternal, L, loving, F, father. Doing this helps you connect with the word that I use throughout the book. Every human is experiencing their version of self in every moment. We have a choice. I can express myself aligned to self, which is myself expressing the love frequency, or misaligned to self, which is myself expressing a low frequency. More examples to come. I bring to you the tools to align to self throughout the day. I come to you as a fellow traveler who has evolved enough to guide others to evolve themselves intuitively. We continue evolving until our last breath and beyond, because our consciousness is infinitely expanding. When I contemplated why I lived out of alignment for so long, I knew it had something to do with being human. It felt as though when I came into physical form in this three-dimensional, 3D reality, I agreed to forget where I came from and what I came to do. However, throughout my life, experiences allowed me to remember my origin and reason for being. Each catalyst highlighted my misaligned habitual thoughts and programs, which I had learnt from society. Our 3D world consists of duality, which is the opposite of self, which is oneness. I realized that if I signed up to experience this contrast, I would have to discover how to awaken within the polarities, because there was no escaping them. Do I think it is possible to awaken instantaneously and bypass all the life lessons? Yes, I do. But for me, this was not the case. I had to lovingly bumble around on the edges of my true potential for years, experiencing mini awakenings before stepping fully into my light. There is no way of knowing when you will awaken to your truth. But one thing is for sure. Once you achieve this liberation, it ripples out to your family, friends, country, and ultimately our planet. This book is your call to action, so your awakening might be right now. Millions of us are living evolved, and you can live that way too, by realizing self, aligning to it, and eventually embodying it. We raise our frequency and planet Earth's frequency. We write humanity's story by embodying self in the now. Change is inevitable if everyone embraces their unique expression in their little piece of the world, because each holds a part of the puzzle, creating the whole together. You are loved, seen, and heard. You are where you need to be. Everything that is happening to you right now is okay. You are safe. Each time we embody self, we access a more evolved timeline that exists now on a parallel timeline. Everything exists in the now. To break it down, at any given moment, we can be on a timeline that is low frequency with lower potential, or on a timeline that is high frequency with higher potential. I know which one I'd rather be on. The higher timeline, which I also refer to as the new, is immediately available. It can be what we see and experience. Imagine that another version of you has evolved and is on that timeline. You can step onto that timeline at any moment you choose. At first, you allow your evolved self to guide you by pausing and making deliberate choices. Myself expressing love frequency, or myself expressing low frequency. Eventually, you become your evolved self and remain in the new reality all the time. Here, you glide through life, allowing it to unfold effortlessly. You trust that whatever you think, say, and do flows from self and is for the good of all. I appreciate the complexity of what I am explaining. Therefore, this book will act as a roadmap, taking you through my self-realization process from the beginning. I gathered my knowledge through transformative events, not through beliefs. Beliefs are learned intellectually from other people and books, whereas my inner knowing and truth are learned experientially through personal experience. Every word in this book is my truth. However, some phenomena cannot be scientifically proven because they are beyond the visible world. So if skepticism arises, I invite you to explore these concepts yourself. Rather than believe them out of respect for me, I encourage you to gain direct experience to see if they resonate with you. As you live your life, you confirm them or discover something new. This makes them your truth. Each experience is perfect for your self-realization because each of us uniquely expresses our version of self. This is the beauty of self-expression. This book is just one example of the infinite ways we can express ourself. Rewrite the past. We exist in a multidimensional quantum reality. How we think about the past changes the vibration of those stories in the now. This elevated vibration attracts what is in alignment with it and creates a new, higher frequency reality. We no longer have to live a life aligned to our old story's low frequency. Instead, we can write the past, the present, and the future in the now. After you read a chapter, I invite you to reflect and think about times in your life when you may have had a similar experience. Then, choose one of your stories and write it down, explaining how it acted as a wake-up call for your self-realization. This process makes you an empowered participant in the book rather than an inactive consumer. Writing down your stories allows you to celebrate and claim what you are doing instead of focusing on what you are not doing. It replaces, I should do this, with, I'm already doing this. Another way to use the book is to rewrite your stories with a new ending. The body does not know the difference between real and imagined, which means you can give yourself pseudo-awakenings and evolution catalysts in the now, even if it happened years ago. Writing your account with a different ending changes things energetically, not literally. You cannot change the physical manifestation created by your choices. You did the best you could with the knowledge you had at the time. Still, by rewriting your story from an evolved perspective, you change its vibration now, which aligns you to your highest frequency timeline. Then you experience people, things, and events that match that elevated frequency. In these moments, you are embodying self, living evolved, and creating the new. When you know yourself as self, you realize you are the creator of your reality. Therefore, you take full responsibility for your story, including all the thoughts, words, and actions of everyone involved. Yes, that means you and those that wronged you. Instead of thinking, why did that happen to me? You think, I created the experience to learn from it, so it met my needs at the time. But now I can practice forgiveness of self and others. You can even advise your past self, which is really your parallel self. All timelines exist in the now. So next time you're in a similar situation, you can do what your evolved self would do. This shifts the frequency of your story, moving you from the victim to the creator. So in a way, you energetically rewrite your story, humanity's story, and history. Write the future. We have the power to write our story our way. What we do now writes the future. What will we write? We can be a new, evolved character in an evolved setting with evolved co-stars. By embodying self, we transform the world. We focus on unity instead of division, which causes our priorities to change. We begin to value community and develop empathy and genuine care. Our desire to evolve equals our desires for others to grow because we realize it benefits everyone. As more and more people evolve, we leave behind the old and create the new. Like bees cooperate to preserve the colony, we will band together to sustain planet Earth. We will spark a peaceful revolution. We can do this. There are enough of us awakening. A revolution is simply a willingness or a willing of the unimaginable into existence. Write the present. The first step is to imagine a new world vision. Each of us will express ourself by embodying self, living evolved and creating our dreams, thereby raising the frequency of the planet and igniting humanity's vision to awaken human consciousness. The collective will hold the idea of a new world in their vibrational fields until it becomes our reality. I invite you to imagine our evolved world where every living being on earth is free, a place where abundance springs from love and manifests instantly like a blooming flower. Pristine nature, fully rejuvenated, is tended by Mother Earth's caretakers, who are intuitive, compassionate, and telepathic. The planet's ecosystems are sustained and animal species have returned to their pre-agricultural revolution level. Renewable energy is the only source of power. The carbon dioxide problem has been solved. Patriarchal institutions and tyranny have dissolved, and wars have ceased. Humans exist in peace and harmony, in sync with the law of nature, free from prejudice, religious dogma, and personal, political, and corporate dominance. A world where individuals are viewed as equal and respected regardless of race, religion, sexual orientation, gender, identity, and age. Shared communal resources have replaced old greed-fueled profiteering. Small communities provide for members' needs without corporations such as supermarkets and large chains. As a result, corporate power has been dissolved and wealth is evenly distributed. Poverty has been eradicated and everyone has enough food. People no longer need pharmaceutical drugs, as they know they are the medicine, and plants can restore and maintain their health. Money has been replaced with the barter system. Living in groups means people feel connected, supported, and valued. Hierarchy and competition have been replaced by cooperation. Unearned white supremacy and colonial systems that benefited a privileged minority have been abolished. History books contain true stories about the First Nations people. Individuals have a balanced service to self, service to others mindset, and healthy relationships. The planetary media that kept the lower vibration of fear, anger, and separation alive have been extinguished, replaced by honest reporting rooted in love. Now, it may be hard for you to imagine Earth as a place like this, because at the moment it is not our experience. However, if we agree with the current paradigm, we will stay within existing limits. But on the other hand, if we imagine a new reality, we will create something beyond the present-day Earth. As Albert Einstein said in 1931, imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress, giving birth to evolution. I acknowledge the new world is a tremendous change to imagine. However, as more and more people put their energy into it and hold the vision in their awareness, as if it has already manifested, momentum builds and the chance of it succeeding increases. As high-frequency humans who know themselves as creators, we manifest whatever we dream is possible. As dream weavers, our choices impact the world today, tomorrow, and future generations. The second step is to ask ourselves, what can I do to make the new world vision a reality? How can I express myself by embodying self? Live evolved and create my dreams. Firstly, we must determine how our body shows us that something we are thinking, saying, or doing is out of alignment with self. Then, every time we notice this misalignment, we replace the old thought with a new one until we create new habits. Kind of fake it till you make it. By training the brain to remain as self, we no longer identify with triggered false selves and false narratives. We turn our back on other people's expectations regarding how we should be and start being ourself. We begin to break free from old patterns. Life does not become perfect, but our evolved perspective allows us to live fully anchored in the present moment. Here we confidently claim whatever arises as perfect for us, regardless of what it looks like. We see it as an opportunity to realize self. When we truly know life happens for us, not to us, we replace resistance with allowance. We help humankind evolve one choice point at a time, until it is no longer a conscious choice, but an evolved way of being. Then, life starts to flow spontaneously. This moment-to-moment existence cultivates the creative energy necessary to foster our gifts, figure out our calling, live purposefully, create our dreams, and contribute to the collective awakening vision. At this point, humanity's highest timeline story writes itself through us. The good news is we do not have to light up and then change the world. Us lighting up automatically changes the world. As we let our light shine, everyone sees their original light in us, inspiring them to shine. Imagine the global frequency created by humans celebrating and accepting the endless ways to light up. This union would activate our universal creative power and evolve human consciousness. Some know change is possible, but some ask, it all seems so dark, how can we get there? We do not need to know precisely how it will happen. We can trust that darkness is part of the transformation. A butterfly emerges from its chrysalis with a whole new perspective. This perspective was previously unimagined. For humans to achieve a similar metamorphosis, we must uncover our dormant capabilities. When the butterfly was a caterpillar, it had the potential to fly, but it could not fly because it did not know how. First, it had to go within, surrender to the change process, and courageously take flight, powered by blind faith. It is the same with human evolution. The whole process is within us. It simply needs to be realized. Everyone reading this book is capable of doing this. So no matter how far removed from self you feel right now, know this book reveals your innate perfection. It guides you home to you, to yourself. You are the one you are looking for. You already have all the answers to all your questions. I allowed this book to be written through me. It feels like it has been called forth by humanity for humanity to bring us home to self. Everyone's journey to find self is different. My story might inspire you to follow your path of self-realization. Together, we raise human consciousness and evolve as a species to support planet Earth to preserve our planet. We write the new in the now. So what story will we write? Right here, right now.